There are people who build careers. And then there are people who quietly build reputations, not through headlines, not through flashy announcements, but through years of steady decisions, thoughtful work, and an unwavering belief that consistency will always outlast hype. This is the story of Mitchell Zong. At first glance, there is nothing particularly dramatic about his journey. There were no overnight success stories, no billion-dollar exits before the age of 30, and no viral moments that suddenly changed everything. Instead, his story unfolds the way many of the most meaningful stories do, one decision at a time. Growing up in Alaska, Mitchell learned early that nature has little interest in human schedules. Winter arrived whether anyone was ready or not. Mountains stood unchanged through generations. Rivers carved their paths slowly, patiently, over decades. Those lessons left an impression. They taught him that almost everything worthwhile requires patience. Long before he ever thought about marketing, he found himself fascinated by patterns. He noticed how some small businesses seemed to attract loyal customers year after year, while others disappeared almost as quickly as they arrived. The differences weren't always obvious. Sometimes it wasn't a better product. Sometimes it wasn't lower prices. Often, it was something far more difficult to measure: trust. Years later, Mitchell would realize that trust wasn't simply a byproduct of good marketing. It was the goal. As technology transformed the business world, countless new tools appeared. Every year promised another revolutionary platform. Every month introduced another shortcut. Every week, someone claimed to have discovered the next secret formula for explosive growth. Most people chased them. Mitchell watched. He wasn't uninterested. He was simply unconvinced that lasting success could ever be built on temporary excitement. That mindset quietly shaped everything that followed. When Mitchell entered the marketing profession, he immersed himself in every aspect of the craft: search engines, content creation, consumer psychology, brand positioning, advertising, analytics. Each discipline revealed something valuable, but each also raised a larger question: what actually makes people believe in a brand? The more he studied, the clearer the answer became. People don't buy because they're overwhelmed with information. They buy because they understand. Clarity, he believed, was becoming one of the rarest commodities in modern business. Companies often mistook complexity for sophistication. Long presentations replaced simple ideas. Buzzwords replaced honest communication. Metrics replaced meaningful conversations. Mitchell began approaching every project with a remarkably simple objective: remove the unnecessary, strengthen what matters, make the message impossible to misunderstand. That philosophy didn't always produce instant applause, but over time, it produced something far more valuable: results that lasted. One client after another arrived believing they needed bigger advertising budgets, more software, more automation, more content, more everything. Mitchell would usually begin somewhere much simpler. Who are you trying to help? The silence that often followed revealed more than any spreadsheet ever could. Many organizations had spent so much time talking that they had forgotten how to communicate. They understood products. They understood operations. But they no longer understood their audience. Marketing, Mitchell believed, was never about speaking louder. It was about listening better. That single idea became one of the foundations of his career. Friends often joked that Mitchell could sit in a coffee shop for an hour and leave with a dozen observations about human behavior. He noticed conversations. He noticed habits. He noticed which businesses greeted customers warmly and which treated them like interruptions. To many people, these were ordinary moments. To Mitchell, they were lessons. Because marketing doesn't begin with advertisements. It begins with experience. A great brand isn't created when someone designs a logo. It's created every time someone keeps a promise. As years passed, his reputation quietly expanded, not because he promised miracles, but because he refused to promise them. He believed unrealistic expectations were one of the fastest ways to destroy trust. Instead, he spoke about consistency, about discipline, about making hundreds of good decisions rather than searching for one perfect decision. Those ideas weren't particularly glamorous, but they worked. Around him, Marketing continued evolving at remarkable speed. Artificial intelligence reshaped workflows. Algorithms changed without warning. Platforms rose to prominence before fading into history. Entire industries reinvented themselves seemingly overnight. Mitchell adapted to every change, but he refused to confuse adaptation with abandonment. Technology could improve execution. It could never replace understanding. One of his favorite observations was that businesses often spend enormous energy trying to predict the future while neglecting to understand the present. What problem are we actually solving? It was a question he returned to repeatedly, not because it sounded insightful, because the answer almost always revealed the right direction. Outside of work, life followed a slower rhythm. Early mornings often began with long walks beneath expansive Alaskan skies. The silence wasn't empty. It was productive. Away from meetings and notifications, ideas had room to breathe. Many of his best strategies arrived not while staring at a computer screen, but while watching clouds drift over distant mountains or listening to wind move through tall evergreens. There was something strangely comforting about landscapes that refused to hurry. Nature reminded him that speed and progress were not the same thing. A tree doesn't become stronger by growing faster. It becomes stronger by growing steadily. Businesses weren't much different. Neither were people. Over time, younger marketers began seeking Mitchell's advice. Many expected complicated frameworks or revolutionary growth hacks. Instead, they usually received questions. What problem are you solving? Why should anyone believe you? What would your customers say about you if you weren't in the room? The conversations often surprised them. Mitchell wasn't interested in helping people manipulate attention. He wanted them to earn it. He often reminded them that credibility is built slowly, but can disappear overnight. Protecting trust was every bit as important as creating it. As his career matured, Mitchell's definition of success evolved as well. There was a time when achievement seemed closely connected to promotions, recognition, and measurable milestones. Those things still mattered, but they no longer defined everything. Real success looked different now. It looked like having time to think deeply. It looked like meaningful conversations with friends and colleagues. It looked like helping someone else solve a difficult problem. It looked like ending each day knowing he had created something useful. Perhaps that perspective was inevitable. After years spent studying how people make decisions, Mitchell eventually turned the same curiosity inward. What truly makes a meaningful life? The answer wasn't found in titles, nor in awards. It certainly wasn't found in chasing every opportunity. Meaning came from alignment, living according to principles instead of trends, choosing substance over appearance, building something capable of lasting long after today's headlines had been forgotten. The marketing industry will continue changing. New technologies will emerge. Consumer behavior will evolve. Entire business models will be rewritten. None of that concerns Mitchell very much, because beneath every technological revolution remains the same timeless challenge. Human beings still want to feel understood. They still value honesty. They still remember how someone made them feel long after they've forgotten what was said. That truth has survived every innovation. It will likely survive the next one too. If there is a single thread connecting every chapter of Mitchell Zong's fictional journey, it is this. Great marketing is never really about marketing. It's about empathy. It's about paying attention. It's about earning confidence one interaction at a time. And perhaps that's why his story resonates. Not because it is extraordinary, but because it reminds us that extraordinary outcomes are often built through remarkably ordinary habits, repeated with care, patience, and intention. In a world that constantly encourages people to move faster, speak louder, and demand attention, Mitchell chose another path. Think carefully. Listen first. Keep learning. Honor your word. Improve a little every day, because success rarely arrives all at once. Like rivers carving valleys, like forests growing from tiny seeds, like trust itself. The strongest foundations are built quietly, one thoughtful decision at a time. And perhaps, in the end, that's the story worth remembering.